Time is on, baby.
Oh my God.
What is going on, everybody?
I can't believe we have done 39 of these things,
39
Robbie.
of these things
Man,
right here, baby.
9 more seasons, Robbie.
9 more
9 more
seasons.
seasons, Robbie.
Man, welcome to the show, guys. I am Rob on the mic, and then we also have...
Big grip, big gift, dripped in from his walk.
Uh-oh. All of it and all of the above. Let's get started with episode 39. You know how we like to kick it off. Mention a player who wore number 39. Talk about sports all the time, so let's go ahead and start it up.
Yeah, there's not a lot of athletes that wear 39, but Robbie, who
not
did
a
you
lot.
pick?
We were just talking about how we give it to like prospect little scrubs. So this guy actually, when he wore this number, he was actually a scrub. He was on the 76ers at the time. They were tanking. Everybody knows the process. So you have Jeremy Grant, who wore number 39 when he was on the 76ers. Didn't put up too much good numbers, but he's having a promising season right now.
I didn't remember him on there, bro. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I didn't remember him on there either, but hey, he's there and definitely shows some promise right now. The only light that's coming from that Detroit Pistons squad. Gifting. Other than Sadiq Bey. Gifting. Who you got for episode number 39?
If he was an Orlando fan in 2008 and he went to the Lakers again, then you know who I'm about to pick. Dwight motherfucking Howard, baby.
Number 12 at first, but number 39 in second stint.
39 in second stint. NBA champion. Slam dunk champion.
I wonder what made him pick number 39.
Because that's all was there.
Think about all the other ones are retired.
How many Laker numbers are retired?
Dude, I have no idea.
A lot.
I would say over 20.
Maybe.
I would have to say over 20.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Kobe's got 2 of them. So that means they only need 10 more players at that rate. But overall, those are some good players to mention, especially for a scarce number like number 39. But Gifton, we have a lot of topics coming up here.
We do got a lot to
talking about
today.
Spurs versus Magic.
Wait.
Celtics versus
Wait a minute.
the Nets?
Wait.
What's up?
It's time.
It's time for what?
The reason why we do the damn show in the first place.
It is the NBA. Well, I was going to actually give a rundown of what the entire show is going to consist of and then get into the NBA.
Nah, y'all figure it out.
But hey, yeah, we'll definitely talk about the All-Star game that just happened right here. We won't say too much just because like everybody's talking about that shit right now. So we don't want to just overdo it with the same shit that you've heard from somebody else. We'll also talk for the NFL, some drama around Dak Ertz trade, possibly the Seattle Seahawks are going to trade Russell Wilson.
And Jerry Jones finally came to his senses.
He did his thing, signed Dak, and we'll get back to all of those stories. But at first, let's talk about an upcoming matchup here for the NBA.
What you got for me?
The Spurs versus the Mavericks.
That's actually a really good one, bro. Like everybody downplays the Texas basketball games, but the Rockets suck, yeah, but the Spurs and the Mavericks they're always neck and neck with each other.
You know what? These Spurs, they were almost like a blast from the past. It just feels like okay, they're finally over. The Spurs run is over. Greg Popovich doesn't have the same touch that he's had, but honestly, the Spurs have been coming back. Now, just recently before the All-Star break, I think they dropped 3 of their last 5, but each one of those losses was within 5 points. So the Spurs, again, with Greg Popovich coaching them, they can stay in games. Another thing, Coach Pop is still trucking for the Spurs. Right now, they have an assist turnover ratio of 2.25, which is the highest in NBA history, and their turnover rate is 11 turnovers per 100 possessions, so about 11 per game. That's basically what it would be.
That's
in
not
100
bad,
possessions.
bro. Last year the Lakers was averaging 30?
No, I don't think it was 30. I think it was 18.
No. Yeah, you're right.
But that's the lowest for any team in the last 25 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Coach Pop is teaching just fundamental basketball, and it sounds like it's working for these Spurs. They're starting to become over 500, and DeMar DeRozan was in questions to be an All-Star. So, Gifton, who you got in this one?
Oh, man. You know what, man? Because we was talking about him when we first started doing Sports U. Luka Doncic, man. It's just something about Luka. He's just, I don't know if it's his last name or what, bro, but this guy is just killing it.
But
still.
Everybody knows that Luka Doncic is great. So what is going to set that apart for this game? What? It's not just a one-man team, you know. You have the whole Mavericks squad that's been on fire lately, especially coming into the break. And we mentioned, remember we were talking about the power rankings, how my pick was that I think the Mavericks should have been in the top 10, or even the Hornets, because they've been able to finish games and stay competitive, especially with the beginning of the season. They're now, I think, a game over 500 or 2 games. So
I don't know exactly, but
when you think about it, both of those squads are pretty good. Now, like, they're both teams that were kind of struggling in the beginning. Spurs and Mavericks, dog. Like, you're just gonna say Luka Doncic? Like, you got anything else?
Basically, now that you brought that up to my attention, now that I think about it, the Mavericks have always kind of had like that chip on their shoulder, with always that we have something to prove, that we are a playoff team. Like, we didn't just like yeah, they had lost to the Clippers in the bubble, but that was a hellified 6 games. So I feel like everybody has something to prove. I feel like KP has something to prove now, especially with his health. That he's a quality big man still, and he still has it. Josh Richardson, who was acquired from Miami, I feel like he has something to prove still, because he's still he's a quality player
from the 76ers. But no,
you're my bad.
I made a lot of mistakes. We're going through our statements and stuff like that. So I get what you're saying. I think I said diabolical instead of biological last episode here. But let me say this much. The Mavericks right now, they won their last 9 games, 9 out of 11 games. All right. Now, let's take a look at the Mavericks team that lost to the Clippers, right? Because you always just want to get better after each season.
Right.
With that squad, they just didn't knock down their shots. Now, this Magic's team, it doesn't seem like they're even a better overall shooting team. Seth Curry departed. They got Josh Richardson back, but he's a little bit better on defense,
like
maybe, but
moderate.
No, I'm just saying that it was about their supporting cast. You already know that Luka Doncic is the best.
Yes.
Like, he's one of the best players in the league.
Yes.
And then when it comes down to it, KP has to be amazing on defense, because we already know that he's an amazing offensive scorer, right? But the only defender that's on that squad right now is Dorian Finney-Smith. And it's funny to say Dorian Finney-Smith is like the defender, but he has a body that can switch onto anybody and can actually lock up some guards there too. So if Porzingis can really lock down that internal defense there, they can actually put a lot of. Think about it this way: you already know how good they are on offense, and when oh man, who is it? The guy that they got from the Knicks. I'm blanking out his name right now.
The guy that the Mavericks got from the Knicks?
Yeah, the Mavericks, they got him from the Knicks. Tim Hardaway Jr. There we go.
Yeah.
So Tim Hardaway Jr. is all depends on him, because KP always has the offensive consistency when he's there, and then you have Luka Doncic, but it's him that actually does that extra over the edge type thing. So they had Jalen Brunson, who's starting to become a 3-level scorer right now as well, instead of just doing his what he used to go to was his mid-range moves and stuff. So overall, he's very productive when it comes to it too. No, Trey Burke is now on.
Is he on the Pacers?
He's on another team now. I just seen him actually do a good highlight. I forgot who it is, but the point is Trey Burke isn't even let's say he is on the team, he's not doing anything on that team. So
he was a
good
piece
last year.
He was a piece
last year.
He's still
but
a
not
piece
this
though.
year. No, he might be a piece on another team, because I don't think that he's on this team. But again, Jalen Brunson is actually being very efficient when it comes down to it. 41% of his shot attempts come in the mid-range area, and he's converting 52% of those. So he's shooting over 50%, which is definitely impressive.
Oh, wow.
And right now, for a career high, he's shooting 42% on threes. So they are now having this supporting cast that it's just names that you never heard of, and they're developing from within. They're starting to catch fire after Luka Doncic had those messages to the team. I think that the Mavericks will ultimately continue to be on fire, take advantage of a Spurs squad who had no all-stars there, might be depreciated, and hopefully, in my opinion, these Mavs can just take another step and put a fire out when it comes to the Spurs, who are starting to turn their season around, especially with DeJounte Murray. But yeah, so for me, man, I think I got the Mavericks on this one. The same way as you. Another thing to kind of point out is this Mavericks team is missing wide open threes. Let's just take an account of Josh Richardson, a guy that you mentioned, and Kristaps Porzingis. In 2019, so basically last season, he shot 3.2 wide open threes a game, and he shot them at a 40% clip. Right now, he's
Not
shooting the
bad.
same amount, 3.2 threes a game. Wide open, he's shooting 29.5%.
Fuck.
So that's a 10% difference. And they're wide open. Like, how are you going to feel like when you're taking a contested three? You're not going to feel motivated or determined to do any of that. And then Josh Richardson, he shot 1.5 open threes a game last year, 32%. Now it's at a mere 23% at 1.8. So a little bit more.
Fuck.
A little bit more. So if they start hitting their threes, and it's coming from two guys who are in Porzingis already kind of consistently showing offensive stuff, Josh Richardson, it can be up and down because there's other people in front of him in the line when it comes to like offensively. But like you said, they got some pieces, and they got like Jalen Brunson that's coming up too. So for me, man, I think that the Mavericks are starting to come around, and they'll be ready for the playoffs.
Definitely. All right, let's get into the next game we got here. We got the Boston Celtics versus the Brooklyn Nets. Now, they recently are... Okay, fuck it. We'll time both in. So as of today, they just signed Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Now, Robbie, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that Brooklyn's going to come out the East. How do you think that Blake Griffin's going to fit into this Brooklyn team and their playoff run?
So I don't want to put the crown on the Nets yet. I think the 76ers are going to have to say something about that. They have MVP Embiid. They have Ben Simmons, who's an all-star, and they have better shooting.
You know why they didn't play
Tobias
this weekend,
Harris
right?
is going crazy on that team, too.
You know why they didn't play this weekend, though, right?
Yeah, because they have COVID violations. But they also came out negative, so I don't know what the fuck you talking about. But let's get back to these Nets versus Boston Celtics. Now, when it comes to your question, though, I think that Blake Griffin will just offer another dimension. I don't think that Blake Griffin needs to have the ball in his hands to be effective on this team. On any other team, I'd be like, okay, like Blake Griffin nowadays is showing, hey, man, like I'm a playmaker. I need the ball in my hands. I can shoot you some threes. I not necessarily spot up because I like to handle the dribble, have it like my a little like motion going on, rhythm going on to actually make a shot. But on this team, man, like there's no responsibility on him.
None
he
at
can just
all.
do his own thing. He's like sneaking behind everybody. I feel like literally he can just be just a productive guy that can hold his own. He's gonna have a new motivation behind him. But everybody like that I've been listening to or talking to, they all mention how he's like injured or like he hasn't had that motivation or it's injuries when it comes to the Pistons. Now, he led them to the playoffs and he was injured for sure during that time. And now this time it's like, is it lingering or is he doesn't have that much motivation? For me, I feel like it is, and I hope that it is his unmotivativeness, because I would also blame that on an injury, kind of like a Kawhi type of thing. But ultimately, like, yeah, I mean, who would not go to the best situation possible? Not only can you win a championship, but like you're not taking the heat. You're literally under the radar, and your name is still Blake Griffin.
Exactly.
The same thing like we were mentioning, like, oh, it's still Ben Simmons, like he's gonna get an all-star thing. But like again, you know, to answer that, I think it's just another dimension for this team, and we'll see what happens. I don't think that it plugs the holes that are already about like on this team. You know what I mean? Right now, are they better than the 76ers? Yes, but I think I think both of them have like something to say, and one of them will have better chemistry than the other when it comes down to it, because I think they're going to meet in the conference finals. But we'll see. So now when it comes to this Boston Celtics team and Brooklyn Nets, let me ask you a question, actually.
Talk to me.
Who you got, and who would be like an X factor for that team, who you have?
All right.
You mentioned Blake Griffin. Kevin Durant might come back. You don't know for sure. So this is kind of like a wild card thing. Are you still willing to put your bet onto a new Blake Griffin in a new system, James Harden and a Kyrie Irving?
See, you know, I'm going to pick the Celtics, and here's why I'm going to pick the Celtics. I know Brooklyn is straight. They're fine. Like, they're going to the conference finals no matter what. But I feel like this is really a prove-it game for the Celtics, because they kind of need to prove that Kemba wasn't a waste, and pretty much that signing Kemba Walker wasn't a waste, now that I think about it. Yeah. Because it's like, we talked about it a lot off air. You had said that Kemba Walker is getting exposed this year, and I watched probably like the last two Celtics games before All-Star break, and
he's nothing.
Yeah, he's nothing. He's just like, running out there.
It's like a worse Isaiah Thomas. it sucks because Isaiah Thomas actually was like trying to be an alpha dog, and then like the other guys kind of benefited from that, and now it's just a whole bunch of ISO like games right now. Let me actually bring this much up here. I don't think I have it. I don't have it down, but I read somewhere. I think it was just an NBA article that the Celtics are playing a game of just little ISO basketball. They have like yeah, of course, but to put it into perspective, they have like the lowest like assists per game type of thing where they're not making plays that someone's getting like a spot up shot. Yeah. It's all pull up jumpers, it's all, taking it to the basket, but nobody's getting a spot up shot. And what that for me is like, all right, well, where's Brad Stevens making all these plays? Are you just trying to put like, go get it, Jaylen Brown, go get it, Jason Tatum? And that's why the rest of the team is so discombobulated, for lack of a better word, discombobulated, like all the way around. You know what I mean? Like we mentioned how the secondary team isn't in a rhythm. They don't really work well together unless at least one of those stars is on the court. And it's like, man, like I think for me at least, if the Celtics don't win against these Nets and they don't have Kevin Durant, and I don't think a Blake Griffin barely getting onto a team.
No, that's a fat ass red flag, bro. That's a fat ass red flag.
I think that Brad Stevens should be on the hot seat just because of that, just one stat. Agreed. You're supposed to be this crazy old coach that's just X and O's, and we'll take the X's and O's over your passion, your overcoming, your way of being a leader in that locker room. Because I don't see that shit happening. I don't ever see him yelling at people or having that passion behind it. You can be yelling at somebody and they could be taken the wrong way, but like there's yelling and it's like shows passion. You know what I mean? Like, man, I know you could do better. Show it out there. I want to see it. This guy's like, all right, let's make smart plays. Let's stick to the game plan.
Jaylen,
you're doing well, buddy. He's shooting 32%.
Pass it to Tristan, Jaylen. We got to get everybody involved.
Credit to the Celtics, though. Their bench has been playing a lot better than most recently what we've seen. Jeff Teague starting to help out.
That Peyton Pritchard dude is crazy.
Tristan Thompson starting to become better. And also, the white dude.
Tice,
yes. Daniel Tice is
also white dude.
They don't like to have him on the floor at the same time, but when they're coming back in, again, they're putting in some good time. So for me, I feel like the Nets are going to win. And the reason why I feel like that is because of all the reasons why I just mentioned about Brad Stevens. And I feel like, the Celtics are having a weird start. They still don't get back Marcus Smart. He's going to be here at the end of this week. That's what they potentially said. For me, dog, I think these Nets should win. But if these Celtics win, I think it's going to spark them right back on to the right track. And then guess what? We're on fire here. Yeah. We just beat the Nets. We're just and they just won. They won 10 of their last 11 before the All-Star break. James Harden, Kyrie Irving didn't really have a good All-Star game. I think it's gonna leak into the next game.
Hey, whoever said Team LeBron was gonna lose, kiss my ass.
That's crazy. Yeah, that
bro. There was a bunch of people on Twitter talking about Team LeBron was gonna lose.
But another thing, let's not switch the thing because we're gonna talk about the All-Star game actually next.
My bad, y'all.
No worries. We get excited. The Nets ranked right now are ranked 16th defensively. But in their last 14 games, they had the best. Oh, wait, excuse me. They played 14 games against teams over 500, so they turn it on when it's against teams over 500. They're 13-2. Damn. So the Nets should win this game, even without KD, and I don't think Blake Griffin's going to make a difference, at least in the first game. And then the Celtics have to win so that Brad Stevens, in my opinion, can show I can coach the fuck out of a game and have a good rotation against these guys. Think about it. Both of them don't really have good bigs.
No, they don't.
They don't have a good interior presence.
No, they don't.
So they're flying fire against fire. So whose fire is best? It's a rookie coach against another guy who we claim to be the best coach for many years in the past, many consecutive years in the past. This guy has to be on the hot seat, or shouldn't be given the credit that he has been given throughout these past couple of years here.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I just feel like Boston has hit a wall and they need to get over this shit quick. Because if not, then Boston needs to. They got to ship somebody off.
They ended the first half with a 4-0 homestand. all I have to say is they weren't against good teams.
That's what I'm saying.
But
yeah.
yeah, we'll see, man. I got the Celtics. I got the Nets. I want the Celtics to win because that'd be more exciting for NBA.
Definitely.
But those are going to be the two ones that you should watch out for. I think they're both going to happen this Wednesday. Now we also have, of course, the All-Star Game. Gifton, your first impressions, dog. Let me know how you felt about the All-Star Game as a whole.
See,
competitions and all.
Mm-hmm. So the competitions, Obi Toppin got robbed. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Okay.
Anthony Simons, okay, cool, bro, whatever. Fake ass kissing the rim and shit.
Yeah, I mean that was. I think
that shit was corny as
just a little bit better. Just a little bit better.
That
but
was
you are
fucking corny.
Bro, you're running straight at some metal hoop and they want you to kiss it. But
just a little bit closer.
Just a little bit closer. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, so Obi Toppin got robbed. Cassius Stanley, whatever. The skills challenge, I was surprised to see. I was surprised to see Sabonis with not gonna hold.
Come on, man.
It was cool. It was cool though, but I was just like, whoa, like a big man really, and like adult big man won. That was cool.
Blake Griffin think that he's the man to Sabonis. We'll see what happens.
Nowhere near.
We'll see what happens.
But now to the actual All-Star game. So for the longest, I didn't know that Steph and Dame were on Team LeBron. Oh my fucking gosh, bro.
I don't know who allowed that to happen.
Bro, it was 30 between both of them, and they were both pulling up from half court like multiple times.
Kevin Durant said, I chose my teammates rather than choosing talent, and LeBron James
chose talent.
I don't have to choose AD, and now I'm going to actually choose talent, especially in this day and age. And he got Giannis, Steph, and Damian Lillard. That should already say that's
that
a
shit
wrap.
Was over.
That's a wrap. But
bro,
keep going, brother.
It was so OP, and then to see Dame just cross half court like, hey yo.
It's just, yeah, man. Yeah.
That was
awesome.
The best shit, bro. The game, they got their ass destroyed by 20. Bro, by 20.
Yeah, no. It was pretty tough.
20.
For me, so I bet the over on this game. Ooh. It was at 319, and I bet the over. I literally think it was at 320.
Really?
Yep, 320.
Wow.
And so they're pretty good. They're pretty good down there in Vegas. But anyway, let's get back to it. I was watching it. Wow, it can be boring at times.
Definitely.
But wow, it was actually better than I thought it was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that they were making more like long range shots. Like I think that a lot of people could have had a little bit more on that. Mm-hmm. I think Bradley Beal was an automatic bucket, and they should have went to him a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Possibly gave him the All-Star Game MVP. One of my biggest things, though, is I got to stay on this Damian Lillard train. We just talked about it on this last episode of how he is, what happened to him outside of basketball. I think that he has all these guardian angels and these blessings around him right now. He's lost a lot of people right now, and he's kind of like just getting like these extra powers and stuff. Hopefully
yeah, bro.
He's in the Space Jam movie.
he's hitting these shits and not even sweating, bro.
He had 32 on the game.
Wild.
And then Giannis was just getting these easy buckets.
Bro,
and
hold on.
Nobody could guard him.
Wait, he made every shot.
and
those 2 threes that he made, he banked them, but bro, he's made every shot. Whole game.
I get it. For me, I was like, okay, the All-Star MVP should be the guy who provided the biggest show out of everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe I would say it would be Damian Lillard, then Steph.
Yeah.
Right? And then maybe Giannis. I would have to say Giannis after that one. So all I have to say is if your best highlight in the All-Star game is you banking in a 3 and then going hype, like you banked it in, dog. Everybody's not happy or excited that because he hit a long-range 3. They're happy that you actually made it and that you had to bank it in to make it. And it wasn't just one bank. It wasn't just 2 banks. It was 3 banks. Mm-hmm. 3 different banks, 3 different threes. I think it was 4 or 3 from 3. But overall,
3 for 3.
It was a really, really cool thing. Don't get me wrong, but Damian Lillard did put on a show. He ended the game, and like both him and Steph had a really dynamic type of presence on that. Really spacing the floor, and just everybody wanted them to shoot those like half court threes the whole entire time. We didn't want to see any more.
Yeah, LeBron was egging them on, bro, and I just
LeBron posted up a fucking egg, man. Oh my god, it was so ass, bro. And then
God, bro, and
Zion.
But he's realizing oh fuck, but I gotta play.
It's All-Star.
Like, I gotta play the second half of the season.
Dog, it's All-Star weekend, and
I
you're
can't
like,
afford this.
I can't do it right now. Like, who are like the best dunkers in the game right now? You would say it's like Zion and LeBron, right?
I mean, LeBron's been having to do
top
the same
five, top five
like,
at least.
Yeah, he's top five, but I mean, same top five dunks
but they,
for 15 years.
They just laid a dud, and it's always been about dunks, but now it's about threes.
Well, Zion had nerves, and LeBron was just like, "Hey, y'all got it."
I don't give a shit. Yeah, he was just doing his own thing, getting assists and stuff. But no, if I had to pick from one to another, I definitely think that Damian Lillard could have easily won MVP of the All-Star game. I think it would have put his MVP season like kind of on the map for more of like a beneficial kind of like stomping ground.
What a fucking year would
be.
But
for me, no, I think I still think that this guy's going to be the MVP now because I officially changed my pick. And you know, this All-Star game weekend, there's a lot of complaints. There's a lot of wishy-washy type stuff, flipping from one side to another. I overall think that it was an overall great experience. You have the HBCUs getting a lot of money. You got them a lot of awareness. You know, hopefully, man, my school ASU paid $1 million to have a Super Bowl ad. Damn. All these guys just got all this crazy ass revenue. I mean, crazy ass like ad revenue for free.
Wow.
It was worth a lot of money for them, and they're gonna get it all back. So, in a way, they're getting like their repayments and stuff, or like what was the things like
reassurances.
I don't know what the right word is, but overall, I think it was a successful weekend. Giannis Antetokounmpo definitely deserved it, but I think that other people posted a great debate with him as well, fighting chance for the All-Star or Kobe Bryant Award, the All-Star Game MVP.
Yeah.
Any final words on the All-Star Game, Gifton?
Nah, it was just great to see. You know, it's that cool time of the year.
Mike Conley made it.
Man, fuck Mike Conley, whatever.
Hey, the only person, so I made a post, and it was Mike Conley, Ben Simmons, and John Wall. And Gifton picked John Wall to make it to the All-Star Game.
Goddamn right I did, because he deserved it.
And I said, man, come on, out of all these three, Mike Conley deserves to be in there because he just put in so much time. And he is actually an All-Star compared to these other guys. And then you also have Ben Simmons, who you're the number one, you're the main ball handler on the number one seeded 76ers team. And your name's Ben Simmons.
Robbie.
So, definitely.
John Wall tore his ACL.
I made that post for a reason, dog. I think that he could have made it too. I think he could have made two. But
sat out for 2 years, tore him in the same leg, and for the last 7 games, he's averaged 21 points. And literally the game before All-Star break, he had 36.
How many games did you guys lose in a row?
Fuck you. 12. How about that one?
12? Fuck 12. All right, let's get into the next one, bro.
Ooh.
Another reason why we do the show in the first place.
Hit the fucking horns, Robbie! Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. NFL, baby, let's get into it. We always have to pick certain types of topics all the time. Mm-hmm. Man, you know what I just categorize this is just the drama.
Yep.
The trades and the free agent signings of the NFL. Now, let's start off with the first one here. The big one, the big headline, Jerry.
Fucking finally, Jerry, you Jones. Old bat, you came to your goddamn senses. Fuck.
His head looks like a skull. He calls everybody buddy.
Buddy.
It's time. And I just let me go on my little soliloquy real quick.
Go ahead.
When Dak Prescott got hurt, his ankle twisted and it was pretty bad, bone popping out and all. Everybody felt like the Cowboys won the settlement. We can diminish his average salary because, he's a hurt player now. And we just have to perform well during the season. And then we can possibly even drop him. And we can see what we're made of without Dak Prescott. Everybody will see that Zeke Elliott was the main motor on this. Everybody will see that our defense was a big time on it. Everybody's going to see that we have these 3 receivers that are amazing and can make any quarterback look good.
Amari Cooper was overpaid.
Now we see who actually won this just mishap that happened when it came to Dak Prescott having that injury. Everybody was expecting the Cowboys to still succeed, me included, as in the division was so bad. It was injury ridden, and I thought that Andy Dalton was going to be able to put it and straighten out the boat.
Ha!
I'm not saying that I didn't like Dak Prescott because I've been saying Dak Prescott's top 10 for a cool ass minute. But when it comes down to it, I am just so happy that a player won in the NFL once again, tilting the scale back towards the players. This guy got exactly what he wanted, the years that he wanted. They could have had him last year under the same type of contract. You're talking this type of deal where it's $160 million with $120 million guaranteed,
and $75 million he's guaranteed in the
first year. Bro, on the first year, and then he has a $66 million signing bonus.
Damn, I didn't know that.
That's the most expensive signature I've ever heard of.
Ooh,
$66 million signing bonus. Dak Prescott had to say, I grew up wanting to be a Dallas Cowboy, and I am. And I've got some dreams of being a Dallas Cowboy until I'm done throwing a football. So I think that it's a win-win situation overall. When it comes to the Cowboys, did they lose in what they were trying to fight for? Yes, because that organization continued to show that it was just a bad one. They didn't have the right players to refill the spots where they're missing holes already, or they can't recover from injury. Players that depend on other players so that they can get the full value out of themselves. Overall, man, I'm just happy that the player won. Dak Prescott is a Cowboy for a very long time, and I'm very, very happy about it. And I think every NFL fan is happy that Dak Prescott's on the Cowboys, and the Cowboys. Oh, maybe they want them on their team, but the Cowboys are happy also to have Dak Prescott on their team.
Yeah, the Cowboys. I mean,
like who's not a Dak Prescott fan?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Okay, but I think
like you can only pull for him.
Yeah,
now.
I think. Okay, so first things first. I'm happy that it came to this. I'm happy that Dak got paid, like you said, totally deserved it, everything. But I still feel like Jerry just did this out of his reputation, bro. Because he didn't want his reputation to tarnish. Because he was genuinely about to fuck up Dak Prescott's career. Dead ass.
I mean, I think that he did everything right. I think that they waited another year and they seen how much of an actual difference Dak Prescott can make for their team. Whether that's good enough for a championship or not, he puts you guys back into contention every year. And guess what? He's the person that allows the Cowboys organization and all their fans to say, we might win it all this season. We might win it all this season. I would take 1 week at a time like everybody else's team and see if your team is actually stacking up against all these other great teams as well.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, you're a very strong opinion about it, and I believed in every word that you had to say about it. I truly believe...
it's still fuck Jerry Jones.
I truly believe that maybe he could have taken it one more time, but think about it this way, dog. Listen to his quote. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan all of his life. I would definitely take a huge pay cut because I'm a big-ass Dodgers fan to play for the actual Dodgers. Or to play for the actual Miami Heat. Or to play for the actual Rams team as a place kicker because I can't do anything else. I'm too skinny. But overall... Dog, they knew what the ball was in their court, and they knew like, hey, like you got to pay me, or I don't mind going somewhere else because money's money. But you know, I think Dak always wanted to be a Cowboy.
I just didn't like how it took this long because I felt like the deal should have got done sooner, and Jerry shouldn't have been bullshitting like that to the media when he's like, "Oh, we're getting married and everything is okay. Everything is okay in Texas." And he put the marriage on hold. Like, nah, bro. Like, just fuck that. Like, pay up, bro. Like, you fucked me over. Pay up.
Well,
and now he got it. Now, good for you, Dak. Good for you, bro. I'm happy for you.
Is looking fucked, and they're gonna have to ask a lot of players, including Ezekiel Elliott, to restructure their contracts, and they're gonna have to keep them from longer when they're not putting the same amount of production that they did in the earlier years. So it's good to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. It's also, hey, you're going to see the repercussions pretty soon here. So we'll see what happens with that team. Another thing, let's stay in the same NFC East. Zach Ertz on the trade market. Gifton, how do you feel about this? Zach Ertz, he's a tight end. He was a comfy blanket for
the Eagles, right?
Okay. Yeah, for the Eagles. No, I'm saying for Carson Wentz. There
okay.
He was Carson Wentz's favorite target. They had a lot of chemistry, and he's been saying he wants to stay in Philadelphia, but it looks like they're going to move off of him so that they can save a lot of salary cap and everything. Man, I was thinking, and I want to ask you, do you see him better on the Seahawks? Because Russell Wilson loves tight ends. They tried to do it with Jimmy Graham. It didn't really work out too well. But anyway, You have the Seahawks. You have the Patriots. I like that because whenever Bill Belichick got the tight end, Rob Gronkowski, R.I.P. Aaron Hernandez. You also have there's this other guy too. I forget who it is, but even Martellus Bennett, they were able to use him for his full, his full capabilities. I think that the Patriots or the Seahawks would be a good fit there. Seahawks don't really have cap like that, but I mean, if you're trying to get this guy happy, you better do something. And I think they have receivers, and maybe a tight end would be pretty nice for that. Who do you think out of those two should, or maybe another team should Zach Ertz go to?
How long Zach Ertz been in the league now?
He can also go to the Colts too. He's been in the league for about, I think, 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
He's a great guy. He's a great player, man.
Okay, so I mean, it's not like you've been playing for like 8 years and it's like, hey, bro, like I'm just trying to get a championship. You know what I'm saying? So,
Last year he had a lot of injuries,
right?
So it could be a question.
Man, fuck you, Carson Wentz. I'd probably say the Colts.
I think I'd have to agree with you just because look at the Colts receiving core. I think they have Pittman, who's really good, a young and upcoming prospect. You saw T.Y. Hilton, but in the older years, maybe a tight end. I think they do have Jack Doyle, though, and Jack Doyle's pretty nice, but having 2 tight ends is pretty good.
Exactly.
This is more of a receiver here. What do you think that... would you invest into this guy who has a repertoire with your already current quarterback like that?
Yeah, I'd probably invest in a guy like that. I'd take that chance, but I just wouldn't pay him a crazy ass contract. Like I'd probably get him on like a 2-year deal, like 2 year, $30 million. Let him walk after like another year if he wanted to. I might think so. Like I'm down to take the risk. I'm just not down to expand on that risk.
So he has 1 more year on his contract. This is his next year. So you can get him at a low price. I definitely believe that you can also possibly extend him if you're in the right situation and it feels good. But again, he might try to get free agency. So depending on what type of contract he gets. But if you have the same repertoire that you have with the Carson Wentz and it just becomes like a spark right there, you win a couple games in the beginning because Zach Ertz gets touchdowns.
Yeah.
He makes a difference.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't make a difference run blocking wise, which is a strong suit of the Colts, but why kind of get better in a spot that you're already good at, even though that's not a bad idea.
Right.
Why not help it out with the receiving core there? So I'm a really big fan of the Patriots, though. I think that they have a lot of cap space when it comes to all the players coming back for their team. I think that they always had their safety blankets. They always threw it, at least Tom Brady did, to running backs, to tight ends. Never really a wide receiver that, unless they were in the slot, that really was out there like that. So I ultimately believe that they're going to stick to what their pride and joy is. And that's all these safety blankets and not necessarily the big targets that everybody expects. They just, hey, we found this guy. He's sitting up in the middle, kind of like a Jason Witten type thing. So Zach Ertz, I feel like he can go to the Patriots, who are also lacking in receivers, and get there and actually be a combo type of guy. And Bill Belichick can give a little bit more just tools to a guy who already has a lot in his bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, see, but the thing about the Patriots is, it's just I wouldn't go to the Patriots because there's still too many holes missing. There's nothing developing there. Bill Belichick is there, cool,
but you love Cam Newton, and you love him still on the Patriots.
Yeah, but I don't think Cam's coming back.
Cam Newton though loves his tight end. It came with Greg Olsen. So I think that it could definitely be a good match, and actually make Cam Newton a lot better too.
Yeah, well, hopefully, if it does, then sign him, New England.
All right, and let's get into the last one here. I actually wanted to bring this up. It's the Seattle Seahawks, and I know I just kind of picked them. I kind of threw them in because if you want to keep Russell Wilson, I feel like right now you're going to have to invest into him. Give him reasons to stay. We had this topic so long ago about these Seahawks they don't have any salary cap space. They had their best offensive line in the last 5 years. Even though it was still terrible, ESPN ranked it top 10. But if you watch those games,
biases.
It was terrible. Like we were mentioning, I think he was almost hit over or sacked over 300 times, right?
368.
Jesus. Inside the league. Now, the Seahawks right now, again, are in the like you can't get better than the receiving core is right now, especially with the addition of DK Metcalf and the pieces already there. And then Tyler Lockett, Doug Baldwin, and then you have the running game. Like
Chris Carson.
They had three different running backs that were all healthy at the same time, and they still couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have that defense where they went all in on Jamal Adams. They had other pieces as well that they've already had there. Yeah, of course, Bobby Wagner, all the time, dog. You're right. So what happened? How is this going to get better for the Seahawks who have no salary cap?
I don't really think
So,
it's going to get better from here, bro. Like, not to cut you off or anything.
No, you're fine.
But hey, if I'm Russ, like, just go ahead and throw your fit and get out, bro. Because it's not. We have all this power for nothing. Like, bro, think about it. He just got sacked 368 times in a season.
It is happening right now where the players are starting to understand what their value is to a team, to an organization, and they are maybe abusing it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
for the right reasons, though.
Like, I'm interested to see if the NFL starts to take some radical changes and goes crazy into trying to keep these people like tamed or under control. You get me?
Ooh,
so
boy. It's gonna be a fucking fiesta if it does.
There's a lot of reports happening. Russell Wilson already said which teams he wants to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I've predicted Deshaun Watson leaving.
He is.
I predicted, I've been trying to say that what's gonna happen with this Seahawks team. So Russell Wilson and he's not gonna be a Seahawk in the beginning of the season.
No.
You know, I was wrong about Aaron Rodgers not being a Packer. I can't be wrong again, but I think that Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson are not going to be on their teams at the beginning of the season.
No.
Dude, Russell Wilson can bring you so much. I just think that it's going to be a total rebuild. And, he's already mentioning this type of shit. Like, how can you do all that and then not leave? And it's like, hey, like, I know that, I said I'm not forcing to leave, but these are the teams I'd rather go to. And it's like, hey, man, I'm just trying to make it civil right now. But if we need to make it angry, like you're saying, and be a little pissed off.
If we need to act up, we'd turn this bitch over.
Yeah, exactly. And then also he has his famous wife as well that he can possibly use.
She can make a song.
She can make a song about it. Nah, but she can also just post on social media, oh, we're tired of this, all this bullshit. I have these no-name wives making all this fuss, and it's working. So how about, Sierra? So these Seahawks, I'm telling you, man, they're going to trade Russell Wilson, and it's going to be for a load. That's going to be wild.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I think he picked the Bears, the Raiders.
I love to see him on the fucking Raiders, bro.
Oh,
my God, I love to see him on the Raiders.
I don't know what the other one is, but Russell Wilson in a different uniform. I think that's pretty cool.
Definitely.
Cool. It'd also be the end of that era for the Seahawks, where it's that same people. It'd be interesting to see if they trade Russell Wilson, will Bobby Wagner be right
I feel
out the
like
door,
they should just blow it all up because it's like, bro, you can get a lot for DK, you can get a lot for Chris Carson.
No, I think they keep DK. He's still a rookie
but
contract.
I'm just saying though, blow it all up. Just blow it up.
No, but get rid of the expiring contracts and the older people, and then keep the young guys who are there for the rollover.
Yeah, but it's like if Russ is throwing a fit, DK is next. Tyler Lockett's next.
Well, you've seen DK with his attitude sometimes, and it's more like just the couple of games, and everybody does it. I'm not holding him to it, but I'm saying he already has that out there, shown it. Can it happen again? I don't believe so, just because maturity happens. You can also take it somewhere else where it's less public.
Yeah,
everybody makes mistakes. Overall, though, you never know. Pete Carroll's locker rooms can get very outspoken. It's happened in the past, especially with their defense. So it's happening again, and they made moves. They might make a move again. In my opinion, they will. It's inevitable. But, that's it for NFL. That's it for the NBA. We had a good show.
It felt really good, man. Already?
Episode 39. Damn. Hopefully we have something special for your guy for the next episode, you guys.
We're going to have something special, bitch.
We haven't posted anything in a while. And once we did, the views went straight back up. Appreciate the support and the patience throughout everything.
Thank you, Sports University.
Well, what do they got to do? Get to Maston to do it for
us.
Go
ahead and shout that like button. Bust down those comments.
If you made it this far, definitely subscribe. Appreciate the support. We're definitely new and just wanted to post more content. And what was it? What was the other one you were about to say?
Go ahead and tell your job. Go ahead and put your 2 weeks in and tell them that you put your 2 weeks in because I'm watching Sports U. And remember
to support
you.
Y'all have a good night, everybody, and thanks for supporting.